Oh, hi, yeah. Now, today, I'd like to talk about the Scottish referendum, which will be upon us in less than a couple of months. I don't want to talk about the money, the finances, everything, in fact, that the yes and no campaign have been talking about, which is just completely boring and completely irrelevant, particularly south of the border. So I won't be talking about that, nor will I be talking about any hypothetical political parliamentary arrangements that may come out of independence. Anarchists, we anarchists oppose the state in general, but we do support federalism in the old-fashioned sense, and cantonism, decentralisation, small nations that have a right to break away from the main body politic. We believe that, but we're under no illusions about it either. I think that anarchists should support the right of the Scottish people to become independent. After all, both the right, the left and the centre all oppose independence and have done everything that they can possible to keep the Scotch in the UK. So you could finally say, with our political system, unity at last. The left, of course, and these are the people I want to concentrate on, they're worried more about the loss of those Labour seats if Scotland becomes independent, fearing a perpetual Conservative majority. But they're quite willing for the Scotch to be ruled by a almost perpetual Conservative majority here anyway, with the UK as it is. They don't say anything about that, do they? And remember, Scotland hardly sends a single Conservative MP to the House of Commons anyway. So it's somewhat ironic, really, isn't it? George Galloway from the left is attracting large audiences, arguing from a no point of view. The other loyalists and unionists from the main political parties only really putting photo opportunities. So again, it goes to demonstrate that all factions of the establishment are lined up against Scottish independence, with their megabucks and political machines sort of uttering a combination of threats, alarmism, blackmail, flattery, dirty tricks, persuading people to vote no. So by sheer anarchist logic, the Scots should vote yes. All right then, so should anarchists in Scotland vote in the referendum only a couple of months away, or less than a couple of months now? Why not, I say? And if they do, they will vote yes, for sure. I don't think anyone will remain in the United Kingdom. There'll be no anarchy in the UK for them. I do believe that some anarchists in Scotland, the movement there as I've experienced it, is a hell of a lot different from the movement here. It's far more working class, far more rooted in its communities than the one here in the London and the South East. Why, some of them are even out there canvassing for a yes vote. Do I think they are no longer anarchists for doing such a thing? I do not, of course not. And I regard them more as anarchists than what passes for anarchists in a lot of the London South East scene. See my previous vidcasts, Lifestyle and Accountability, for example. Anyway, the anarchist scene here is riddled with social apartheid, a reflection of society here in general. Just look at the story in Saturday's Guardian about here in Whitechapel and Aldgate area. Poor doors, a segregation of inner city flat dwellers, poorer residents forced to use different entrances and facilities. I live only a couple of minutes walk from this place, so when it comes to social apartheid and segregation, I understand it only too well, know exactly what I'm talking about. And I repeat it, the London and South East movement is absolutely riddled with it. Well, in a way, maybe there's a plus to it, because who wants to hang around with these people anyway? And the best we can hope from our middle class comrades is to be patronised by them. I mean, who wants to be patronised by a load of snobs and pigs anyway, right? Anyway, back to the referendum. So unless the Scottish defy the odds and vote yes, they will keep Trident, be ruled by our arrogant political class, never be rid or have even the chance to be rid of the monarchy, never get a chance to create a new political culture. I could go on all night about this. So, You yes people out there have really got to go for it. Bust a gut to win over the huge working class vote in Scotland, and tell them straight, if they don't want to be directly ruled and governed by the British ruling political class and the City of London financiers, or, even as it is, has it more realistically, you could say, the utterly corrupt British pedo state, because if you vote no, that's what you'll get. Ruled by the British pedo state and our aristocracy and so on. If the Scottish vote yes, however, the UK will no longer be the UK, and as far as I'm concerned, that'd be fucking great. Would give us a real kick up the arse. Change the political fossilisation that we have here. Could lead to Wales becoming independent. Promote regionalism. Break the City of London Westminster stranglehold. Maybe force us south of the border to wake up from our lethargic state. The possibilities are endless. But will the Scotch vote yes? Unfortunately, not if the bookmakers are to be believed. Galloway and his ilk seem to have done their job only too well, because it's 8-1 on for the Scottish to vote no, which is virtually like, you put on a tenner, you win £1.40. That says it all really, more than any of the sort of political debates that are taking place. And then if they do vote no in the cold night of day, in the aftermath, they'll wake up to find that they've voted for everything I've described earlier on, and that they would again be subjects rather than citizens, to be ruled by perfidious Albion forever. Our political class, aristocracy, both economic and social, will have to fight in their wars, and as I say, keep trident, and be reduced probably to a capped-off in line of beaters on the grouse moors, whilst they're feeding their kids to our political pedo class. We won't be able to correct your tragic mistake. It'll be a big blow to us, believe me, a no vote. If it comes, we'll be entombed further in our political situation, our dead, sterile, fossilised political situation, deeply, deeply entombed. Another layer of concrete on us. So with my heart, I say vote yes, for sure. Stranger things have known to be happening in politics, and beating an 8-1 onshot. But whatever the result, a few of us down here will mark those Labour trade union leaders and celebs from Galloway to Eddie Izzard, marked them as the sailors marked Jonah as he boarded the ship, marked them as carriers of political leprosy. And that political leprosy is, when it all adds up to it, British nationalism, the very thing that they condemn in the British National Party, but they're no better than the British National Party as far as I'm concerned. So, these celebrities, these trade union leaders, they'll get theirs, and we'll give it to them when we come out onto the streets en masse, whenever that may be, whenever we awake from our torpor. So vote yes in the Scottish referendum, and by God, go out there and drag people, because if you don't vote yes, the situation will be bloody appalling, and I'll be here a few days after complaining about it. And if you do, if you vote no, it'll be bad. But if you do vote yes, I'll still be here speculating about what might happen. For example, if you vote yes, you could get rid of the monarchy. You could confiscate Balmoral, the hundreds of thousands of acres that they own in Scotland. You could really, really go for it if you vote yes. If you vote no, forget it.